legitimate questions. Let's address each one. Some people own handguns merely for the enjoyment of target shooting. I myself have fired pistols at a shooting range and understand the pleasure of the sport. Let's recall our list of infamous toys. All 10 combined resulted in fewer than 20 deaths. Obviously, the preventable and unnecessary death of even one small child should deeply sadden us. But lawn darts caused only a reported 3 deaths, and they were banned by the federal government. In contrast, even the most ardent supporter of handgun ownership must agree that hundreds of thousands of people have died from handgun homicides, suicides, and accidents during my lifetime. If we ban businesses from even manufacturing a toy that only has the potential of personal injury, why can we not ban a product that has a long-proven track record of far more death and destruction? But criminals still have guns, and I need to protect myself. Yes, you do. Let's examine our actions in response to other similar circumstances. The federal government began establishing standards to phase out the use of lead additives to gasoline when the harmful effects to human health and the environment became apparent. Environmental protection regulations caused the automobile industry to turn itself on its collective ear to alter vehicle design and assembly, and the oil industry was forced to change its gasoline production and distribution processes. And aside from the reported deaths of original research team members early on in the area of lead poisoning, leaded gas was not likely linked directly to any deaths. From January 1st, 1996, the Clean Air Act banned the sale of leaded fuel for use in on-road vehicles. Possession and use of leaded gasoline in a regular on-road vehicle now carries a maximum $10,000 fine. The point is that we identified an inherent danger, we found a usable alternative, unleaded gas, and we banned the dangerous product. So the obvious question arises, does an alternative exist to handguns for personal safety purposes? Of course it does. And one alternative, the taser, works just as effectively, is much less prone to accidental misuse, and results in death only in rare cases. Tasers can already be legally carried, concealed or open, without a permit in 43 states. What about the handguns already being used by criminals? As gun ownership advocates are fond of saying, when we criminalize guns, only criminals will have guns. Baloney. I wish I could be more intellectual and theological in my response to this argument. But if we banned handguns and handgun manufacture and importation, then only time and the enforcement of laws stand between us and a relatively handgun-free America. Handguns are not marijuana. People can't grow handguns in their backyards. Now, will a handgun ban stop violent crime? Of course not. Kids will always find ways to injure themselves, no matter how many sharp edges and toxic substances you remove from their environment. Likewise, criminals will use rifles, knives, clubs, hand grenades, their own fists. But that argument, however, offers no reason to oppose efforts to attempt to reduce and even eliminate deaths directly associated with private handgun ownership. What solutions do I offer if I attempt this transition? Well, given our government's propensity for throwing money at solutions, I ask for a relatively modest sum to fund the following initiatives. For 1 year, offer every recreational owner who turns in a handgun $100 in cash or an appraised trade-in on a bow and arrow, rifle, shotgun, or other legal firearm of their choice. After that, all handguns will be confiscated and destroyed. Provide every collector of historic handguns with free conversion, making their weapon incapable of firing under any circumstances. Offer every registered handgun owner who turns in their protective handgun a free taser. Provide research and development funding to Colt Manufacturing and the New Jersey Institute of Technology, who are working to perfect smart guns, and then convert every handgun used by law enforcement agents to incorporate biometric recognition technology. And make mandatory sentencing associated with handgun-related crime so onerous that no sane criminal will consider their use. Now, what would these initiatives cost? Estimates place the number of handguns in America at 200 to 300 million. We could partially offset the cost of the handgun buyback program with modest taxes on the huge expected increase in taser sales and permit fees. Given our history of industry bailouts and our exorbitant military expenditures over the years, the remaining costs far outweigh the direct potential gain in human life and reduction of human misery.